Hey, welcome back. Yes, back, which means if you're here, you probably survived part 1. Congrats, you've officially got more discipline than my diet on a Friday night. Now, if you're new here, no worries. This series is all about mastering the mental game of fitness. Because let's be real, lifting weights is hard, but not eating the entire fridge at 11 p.m.? That's the real boss level. Here's how it works. Each episode tackles one piece of the puzzle. In part 1, we talked about building mental discipline, how your mindset can literally make or break your results. Spoiler alert, your brain's kind of the coach, and your body is just the sweaty player that has to listen. And now part 2, the big one, plateaus. You know that moment where you're working hard, eating clean, and your body's like, nope, we're staying right here. Like bruh, even my Netflix recommends new shows after 2 episodes. We're gonna break down why plateaus happen, physically, mentally, and more importantly, how to smash through them without smashing your scale. And yes, I'll give you strategies that don't sound like Instagram cliches. So buckle up. Or, if you're on a treadmill, maybe just hold on tight. Safety first, gains second. Let's get into it. Why do plateaus even happen? Because nothing kills motivation faster than working your butt off and seeing absolutely nothing change. It's like your body suddenly turned into that one coworker who does the bare minimum to not get fired. Now, the first thing you need to know is your body isn't broken. Plateaus are actually a sign that your body is working exactly the way it's supposed to. Here's why. Physiological reasons first. Your body is basically an efficiency machine. The more you repeat something, the more efficient it becomes at doing it. That's called adaptation. So, let's say you start running. The first few weeks, you're sweating, wheezing, wondering if your lungs secretly hate you. But after a while, your body's like, we've done this before, no big deal. Same run, same pace, but now it feels easier. That sounds awesome, right? But here's the catch. If your body's gotten efficient, it also means the challenge has disappeared. And no challenge, no growth. It's like playing a video game on easy mode. You're technically winning, but you're not leveling up anymore. And then we've got recovery, or sometimes the lack of it. Look, if you're not sleeping enough, if you're half fueling yourself with protein shakes and vibes, or if you're pushing every single workout like it's the Olympics, your body is eventually going to hit the brakes. Imagine trying to drive a car with no oil change, no gas, and 3 flat tires. That's what training without recovery looks like. You might move for a while, but eventually you stall out. Now, let's slide over to the psychological reasons. Because sometimes, it's not your muscles holding you back, it's your mind. One big culprit? Boredom. Doing the same workout in the same gym on the same Tuesday at 6 p.m. while the same guy in the corner flexes in the mirror. It gets old. When your brain checks out, your body follows. And honestly, boredom is sneaky because you don't always notice it at first. You just feel less excited, less sharp, like you're going through the motions instead of chasing progress. And boredom usually brings its best friend to the party. Frustration. That's when you've been grinding. You're expecting big results, but the mirror or the scale is basically ghosting you. No changes, no validation. And suddenly, every workout feels heavier, every rep feels longer, and your brain starts whispering those little toxic thoughts like, why even bother? It's not working anyway. Here's the thing though. Plateaus aren't just about your body getting lazy or your mind throwing a tantrum. They're this perfect storm. Physical adaptation, recovery gaps, boredom, frustration, all swirling together until you feel stuck. And I know what you're thinking. Great, thanks for depressing me. But here's the twist. Plateaus aren't bad news. In fact, the fact that you hit one means you're on the right track. You pushed hard enough, long enough, consistently enough, that your body had no choice but to adapt. That's progress in disguise. Which brings us to the fun part. What if we stopped seeing plateaus as this nightmare roadblock and started seeing them as a signpost? Like your body's way of saying, hey, you've outgrown this level. Time to switch things up. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. So here's the reframe. What if a plateau isn't actually the enemy? What if it's proof that you've leveled up? Think about it. Hitting a plateau usually means you've reached a new baseline of ability. A few months ago, That workout crushed you. Now it's your warm-up. That's not failure, that's growth. Your body's basically saying, congrats, rookie level is over. Welcome to the new normal. And honestly, that's something to celebrate. Because a plateau isn't your body refusing to change. It's your body showing you that it already has. You've adapted. You've created a higher standard for yourself. Imagine if your stuck weight in the gym right now was actually the max weight you could lift last year. That's not stuck. That's progress hiding in plain sight. Now let's flip it again. Plateaus aren't just signs of progress. They're also opportunities. They highlight where you've grown comfortable. And comfort zones? They're great for Netflix binges, not so great for growth. Think of a plateau as your body raising its hand in class, saying, "Excuse me, I need something new." It's not shutting you down, it's nudging you forward. It's like your GPS saying, "Recalculating, please make a U-turn at Variety Street." This is where experimentation comes in. Plateaus give you the excuse, no, the permission, to play around. Try new exercises, adjust your routine, shake things up. Sometimes, even the smallest change sparks progress again. And the bonus, it keeps your brain engaged. Because let's be real, half the reason we get stuck is because we get bored out of our minds. And here's the deeper part. Plateaus build self-awareness. They force you to stop, reflect, and ask, okay, what's working? What's not? What do I actually want next? Without those pauses, we just keep grinding blindly, maybe even burning out. A plateau is like a mirror. It's uncomfortable, but it shows you exactly where you're at. And that clarity is powerful. So, instead of panicking when progress slows, what if you looked at it like this? Plateaus are checkpoints. Proof you've made it this far. Reminders that growth is still happening, even if it's not flashy. And little nudges to switch gears so you can keep climbing higher. Because the truth is, every athlete, every lifter, every everyday human who's ever tried to better themselves, they've all hit plateaus. And the ones who push through, they don't see it as the end. They see it as the signal for the next beginning. And speaking of beginnings, once you shift your perspective, the next question becomes, okay, cool, what do I actually do about it? And that's where we're headed next. So now that we've shifted how we look at plateaus, let's talk about the fun part, the strategies to actually break through them. Because let's be real, it's one thing to nod along and say, yes, I see this as an opportunity. But it's another thing when you're in the gym thinking, why am I still lifting the same damn weight for last month? The first tool in your toolbox, adjusting your routine. This doesn't mean throwing everything away and starting from scratch. It just means adding variety. Swap out an exercise, change the rep range, adjust the tempo. Even something as simple as moving your workout to a different time of day can make your body and your brain wake up and pay attention again. Think of your muscles like a clingy partner. They love routine at first, but eventually, they stop putting in effort because they know exactly what's coming. Sometimes you've got to surprise them. Add spice back into the relationship. And no, I don't mean candlelight squats. Now, if variety is the spice, progressive overload is the meat and potatoes. Little by little, adding more weight, more reps, or more sets forces your body to adapt again. And sometimes, the opposite, a deload week, is the secret weapon. Because pulling back for a short time actually lets your body recover enough to come back stronger. Think of it like flirting with your limits. Sometimes stepping away makes the next push even better. All right, next strategy, tracking and reflection. And I know, it sounds boring. But listen, if you're not keeping track, how do you even know you're plateauing? You might actually be improving in subtle ways you haven't noticed yet, like better form, more endurance, or even faster recovery. Writing it down, logging it in an app, or even just taking quick notes in your phone can show you that progress is still happening, even when the scale or mirror doesn't cooperate. And here's the bonus. Tracking helps you spot blind spots. Maybe you always crush upper body day, but mysteriously skip legs more often than you admit. Or maybe your sleep schedule looks like a Netflix binge pattern. Seeing it on paper or on screen helps connect the dots. Finally, let's talk about reigniting motivation. Because sometimes the problem isn't physical or even strategic, it's emotional. You've lost the spark. And when motivation dips, progress usually follows. So how do we light that fire again? Set fresh challenges, mini goals, something small but exciting. Instead of obsessing over dropping 10 pounds, maybe you focus on hitting your first unbroken set of push-ups, or running a mile without feeling like your lungs are trying to escape. Small wins stack up and create momentum. And if you really need an extra push, use accountability. Train with a partner, hire a coach, or even gamify it. Apps, leaderboards, little rewards. Humans are wired to respond to a bit of competition or external pressure. Sometimes we'll let ourselves down, but we'll push harder if someone else is watching. Funny how that works, right? So here's the big picture. Plateaus aren't permanent. They're just signals. When they show up, you've got 3 levers to pull. Adjust your routine, reflect and track what's really happening, and reignite your motivation with new goals or accountability. And when you put those together, the plateau stops being a wall and starts being a launch pad, which is exactly the mindset we're going to need. So here's the deal. You've now got the full blueprint on how to push through plateaus. We broke down why they happen, both in your body and in your brain. We flipped the script so you can actually see them as progress and opportunity instead of punishment. And we stacked up practical strategies, routine tweaks, tracking, and reigniting that fire to make sure you've always got tools to move forward. That means you now officially survived another episode in this series. Respect. Part 1 was all about discipline, how your mindset is the engine behind every single rep, meal, and habit. Part 2, this one, was about surviving and breaking through plateaus. And in the next episodes, we're diving even deeper. Negative self-talk, unbreakable habits, workout self-talk. You're basically building an entire mental fitness playbook just by sticking with me through this series. And listen, this isn't stopping here. I've got more series planned on other big fitness topics, the stuff nobody really explains properly. The stuff TikTok fitness bros keep skipping because it doesn't get clicks. So if you want the real, raw truth, stay tuned and hit subscribe, because I promise, this ride is just getting started. Now, before I drop a little suggestion that's gonna make your life 10 times easier, I need to ask a favor. Nothing crazy, just drop a comment below. It can be anything. Great vid. You suck. Even just an emoji of a banana, I'll know what it means. The comments help me get pushed out by YouTube, so more brothers out there can see this, instead of wasting hours convincing themselves some shirtless idiot on TikTok actually knows what he's talking about. Help me help them. Alright, now for that suggestion I promised. See, everything we talked about today, plateaus, frustration, stalled progress, it all connects back to something deeper. Why you weren't seeing gains in the first place. That's the hard truth most people don't want to admit. And I already made an entire video breaking it down. Hard Truths of Fitness, Episode 1. The real reason you're not seeing gains. That's the one you should watch next. Because here's the thing. If you know the truth behind why you weren't making progress before, and you combine it with everything you just learned about plateaus today, suddenly the whole picture makes sense. You'll know where you are, why you're stuck, and exactly how to move forward without wasting months spinning your wheels. So here's the game plan. Keep the momentum rolling. Don't stop here. Go watch that video. It's right there on the screen. The one on the right side. Not the random one YouTube picked for you. The one I picked. The one that's gonna hit you with the truth and give you the tools you actually need. Click it, watch it, and I'll see you in that one. Stay strong, stay smart, and stay a chimp.